Grind and Glory is where creativity meets strategy. Hosted by media expert Kesiana Ebel, the show explores the business side of Nigeria's creative industry through real conversations with those making it happen. Grind and Glory, powered by Ebon Entertainment.
This is Grind and Glory. Let's get into it.
All right, folks, how are you guys doing? Another beautiful time right here on Grind and Glory. And my name is Kesiana, and I welcome you to another edition. Today, it's going to be a wonderful time because I have a friend of mine. We've known each other for like, how many years now? Just like 5 years now, Abby.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
Or more.
It's more, right?
Yeah.
So
2015.
okay.
No, 2016.
2016. So Jesus is Lord. That's like more than 7 years.
Of course.
Wow. I don't want to know you again.
I'm a good person. I keep my relationships.
All right, so folks, ladies and gentlemen, I call her the law 2.0. You know, if they don't know you, they don't know you now. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, Lucklyn, Audu. How are you? How are you doing?
I'm good.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Yeah. So, what have you been up to? How is the grind?
Okay, the grind is grinding. So it's good. Everything has been amazing.
All right. So everybody, they do law. People are doing law, corporate law. We're doing which other one? That oil and gas law. What do they call it?
You got it right.
Oil and gas. And then you decide that it's entertainment law you want to do. You like Jamboree, Abi? You like Jamboree, Abi?
No, that's not it.
Okay,
That's
so
not
what?
exactly it. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
You know when I was in New York, I wanted to be an inspiration.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I consider myself a creative person.
Okay.
I used to be a spoken word artist.
That's true. Yeah, I remember.
Film Academy.
I remember.
I was in the Film Academy.
Okay.
I was doing script writing at the time.
Yeah.
I was still trying to, because I love law, but at the same time I was a creative. And what better way to make it work if not to protect the creative space? So it was like, for me, it was taking a step backwards to ensure that proper protection is being given to the creatives in the space. Because at the time, we had very few entertainment lawyers.
Okay.
Very few people were even talking about the protection of creatives per se. In my school at the time, intellectual property was not a course on its own. I don't know if they do that now.
Okay.
That's to show you how the space was not regulated per se. So my interest just stemmed from being a creative myself and wanting to protect creatives.
Okay. All right. So how were you able to carve out a niche for yourself already in this space? Because I know you, no matter how you lie, say, oh, I'm just coming out. They know you. So how were you able to carve out a niche for yourself?
So there's no way that we're talking, this is Grind and Glory.
Yes.
Right? There's no way I'm going to say anything about my journey without talking about God. So God did the positioning. It wasn't anything special that I did per se, but yes, I made some intentional steps.
Yeah.
First things first, my master's degree. I had my master's degree and it was on intellectual property protection.
Okay.
Then I moved to Lagos.
Okay.
And then my dad didn't find it funny. Why do you just want to leave law? Them, they had already prepared their own path for me at the time. But I was like, I wanted to move to Lagos because I think that Lagos is the place that, quote unquote, is the creative hub of Nigeria. So I moved to Lagos. Fortunately, I got into Aristocrat Records at the time.
Yeah.
Grew very fast on the ranks. And I'm here now. By God's grace, I work with some of the most amazing artists out of Africa. And yeah, so what better place to pitch my tent than this space?
All right, so let's dive into this aspect of, creatives and the big mistakes they make.
Okay.
What are the most common legal mistakes creatives make early in their career?
So the first one is most creatives are very avoidant of structures.
Oh,
yeah, so that's their fear. Because of that, because they do not understand or want to understand what structures are, they make a lot of mistakes by not properly reviewing the agreements or understanding the terms of their agreements or engagements.
Yeah.
Most creatives are more focused on the spotlight or the fame and not thinking of the business or the legacy there is to build. So that's the major mistake that creatives make. They don't like structures, so they do not review their agreements. Another mistakes that creatives make, I would say creatives do not know how to build relationships, maintain relationships, and stay in relationships. Now, why are you laughing?
Because I know.
Exactly. So there's something that my pastor usually says. See, if you don't know how to sit for long, you wouldn't know how to stand for long.
That's true.
Yeah. So most creatives just now. They just want to get it. They're not thinking of sustenance. They're not thinking of what happens tomorrow. And that's another reason why they get into shitty contracts and shitty relationships. But to shock you, sometimes the relationships are not exactly shitty. They are just shitty people in a relationship. And once it's like you've blown a bit, they now fight everybody that made way for them to become blown.
I would have loved to. We should name.
I don't
know. Like trouble.
I don't know any name to name.
Me, I know name.
But I don't know any name to name. But there was a popular. I don't think that this has had like a very negative effect on his career so far. But there was a time we heard of Fido.
Yeah.
After Fido became a big name, we now heard he had a fight with his label or the structure or his management team.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. And I don't know if that had an adverse effect on him. But I believe that kind of thing would, because if I'm an investor and I see how you treated your day ones, I'm like, I'm careful.
Yes.
Do you understand? So stuff like that.
Okay, so what would you say for someone a creative who wants to get into a deal, management or label or whatever? What are the first things this person needs to understand before signing? Because we've had issues of people will tell you, oh, they didn't know before they signed this deal. They are choking me or they have choked me. They are two different things. They are choking me or I'm choked. So what exactly they need to put into consideration? Me, I can give you 1 point first.
Okay.
Make a notebook.
Exactly. Knowledge is important.
Yes.
So even aside knowledge, they need to know their value, work their value. So there's something I always tell creatives, for you to have good bargaining power, you need to have value. This is what you bring to the table, not be only for a relationship, you're supposed to ask so even you as an artist, not because you sang one viral TikTok or sound, you now think that you have enough value and you can go into that kind of business or that kind of space. You need to build value, have enough, more than enough, so that you can continue giving, and then you can properly bargain or negotiate your stance. Because if I'm a label and I'm giving you an agreement, I'm going to make it favor me to the highest possibility. Then it is left for you to now negotiate what you think or what you do not think.
Or the aspect of, when signing deal. Yes.
So I think the next point I want to make now is for them to have lawyers.
Okay.
One thing that is very important is you need to have a lawyer as a creative, either as your friend or somebody within reach. Now, even in seeking out a lawyer, it's important you seek out a lawyer that is in entertainment.
That understands the
terrain. I can tell you for a fact that most times in review, I get to fight with people that just have head knowledge. When I mean head knowledge, they just know that you cannot assign your copyrights. Copyrights, you cannot assign your copyright. Moral rights are not assignable. You cannot assign them. So while you're doing that, you're not understanding why that clause is there. Why it is necessary for them for you to waive your moral rights to an extent. I don't know if you get my point.
Yes.
But someone in the industry, someone that understands how these things work, knows that the waiving of moral rights that is referred to is to the extent of exploitation of the masters. I don't know if you get my point.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just get any lawyer to review your contract and that person is putting you in a bad position.
Because it doesn't know no knowledge of that.
Yes. All they know is paper knowledge. They just know thou shalt not. Do you get my point?
Yes.
You don't know the exceptions. You don't know the practice standard. It's just, sometimes it can be messy. So you need a lawyer that understands the industry and the terrain properly so that they can protect you. They know when. So there's something I always tell lawyers and everybody that cares to listen. For copyright exploitation and intellectual property generally, there are two things that are important: promotion and protection.
Okay.
Your role as a lawyer is not just for you to just look at the agreement and say, no. You also need to consider the promotion aspect of it. Because without promotion, exploitation means nothing.
That's true.
Because people don't get to see, people don't get to know. So you now, as a wise counsel, you need to know, how do I marry this thing so that my artists or wherever I'm representing
Is well-
still benefit
Yeah.
and is well positioned.
Okay.
Do you understand what I mean? So it's quite technical to an extent, because if you're not well positioned, don't be my catalog is not, no, your catalog is not, it's for you in your pocket. You get my point?
Okay.
So yeah, you just need knowledgeable people around you.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. So let's look at this aspect of, streaming, this streaming era. You know why I want to say so?
What?
I'm trying to remember back in the days where you can't go and tell Alaba people that, hello, how many CD you say, say XYZ, you do this one. But with the, the streaming platforms, you can count your numbers.
Yeah.
You can say, okay,
You
this is
can
how many
also farm your
numbers. I did not say anything. So, okay, my mouth, you just say, teacher, Papa, do what to. I will not say anything to you. Respect yourself. I don't like that. Okay, so how would you say this is benefiting everybody in the industry?
Streaming.
Yeah.
Okay. So I honestly don't know how you want me to answer this question, but I'm going to try to answer it as much as I can. So for streaming, there's a way it works. Now, streaming and masters per se is one revenue stream.
Okay.
Now, the popularity of your work on the streaming platforms affects your other streams of income.
Okay.
So there's live performance. Now, when people don't hear your song, like your song, they'll come pay money
For you to come perform.
Now, there's also publishing.
Okay.
Your publishers can pitch your songs based on some popularity that you've gotten from the streaming platforms per se. So there's revenue. It has a ripple effect. Now,
if one is doing well, the other ones will get the effect.
The momentum. They will feel it will
trickle down.
Yeah, trickle down. Yes,
okay,
exactly. So that's one. So, but I understand when a lot of people question streaming, because especially in Africa and Nigeria, our streamings don't mean so much financially.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because our buying
money,
power.
Okay.
And even
low.
Yes, our buying power, and a lot of us don't stream.
I know, no problem. Moving on.
Do you understand? So like they are in Europe. I think I hope I'm correct. I think Sweden or so, one of the European countries, has the highest streaming income.
Wow.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So that is why it's important that our artists start to position themselves globally,
internationally.
Yes.
Okay.
So that they now start to get the money's worth from the masters.
So the African markets will really not give them
as much. So I think it was Burna Boy or somebody that was analyzing it, that I think about 1 million streams from Nigeria would give you just $400. I'm not sure of the math, please don't quote me.
Yeah.
But something, so you can imagine when 1 million people stream your song, you get $400. Now, I think in Sweden or so, you get about 3,000 or so. So the math is not mathing.
For me, I feel that for an artist who is doing well in Nigeria, and then you have your fans who listen outside the country, was on it, and then you will see the marketable link it gets when it gets to that point. So we always need effects like that to actually help out with streaming.
So streaming works anytime. We may not be getting the good side of the cane, but the overall effect of streaming works for us.
Okay. All right. We still have Lucklyn Audu right here, an entertainment lawyer. My friend before. Are we still friends? I'll think about it. All right. We'll take a quick break. When we'll come back, more on this conversation right here on Grind and Glory. I'll be right back.
Grind and Glory brings you real talk with the people shaping Africa's creative economy. Join Kesia na Ebel every week as we uncover how creativity turns into commerce and ideas become impact. Grind and Glory is powered by Ebel Entertainment.
All right, welcome back. We're still on Grind and Glory, and my lawyer friend, my guest, is still right here with me, Lucklyn Audu. What's up? 2 fingers in the air.
I wish you could see me right now.
You were. All right, so this entertainment business no be joke, to be honest. It's not joke. But as it's not joke, it's because a lot of money is inside.
True.
Money is involved in the entertainment industry, and so it's an investment. What you put into it, you get back. You get me? So this one will bring us to my question. In your own opinion, what's the biggest gap between creativity and compliance?
Education.
Okay.
It's a knowledge problem. So a lot of creatives still don't understand what it means to be in the entertainment space. And there are lots of compliance issues.
Okay.
A lot of creatives that we have now, especially artists, they are so used to the double means of doing things. Let's talk about taxes.
They don't pay taxes.
I'm not calling anybody out. I'm just saying you mentioned compliance and taxes is a compliance issue. You know, so there's tax there.
Yeah.
We talk about copyright infringement. A lot of them don't know.
They just collect people's work
care.
and just
They don't know. They don't care. I think there was even a time that I was helping somebody out. Someone had said that they took a piece of his song and then they're monetizing it on YouTube and all of those things. Obviously, I had to order a takedown and stuff like that. But I had a friend that knew the artist in question. And I said, whoa, they don't take them down onto the next.
Yes.
You get my point? Like, so they continue, they end until, it's taken down and then they move to the next. But they don't understand that most of these acts have other implications.
Yes.
Both on your branding and your personal life.
So true.
Yes. Do you understand? You could go to court for it.
You could go to jail for it.
Do you understand what I mean?
Yes.
So there are lots of things, but Nigerian creatives, most of them don't know. Others don't care to know.
I remember when the late Victor Wifo called out some artists who used his song, that Guitar Boy, and all of that. And then you hear an artist saying, so, nobody help, we help you.
Do you understand? Yeah. So that's it. I think it's education and and enforcement. We also have an enforcement issue in Nigeria.
Okay.
I always say this. I think we need specialized IP courts. That's a court that strictly sits on IP issues. Just the same way we have the industrial courts.
Okay.
The same way we have industrial courts, I believe that we can have specialized IP courts where the judge knows what he understands
what intellectual property is.
Well, like obviously they know, most of them know what intellectual property is, but understanding the terrain, the business part of it, the implication of certain acts, it would help us get faster judgments and help us put a lot of people to, like a lot of cases to rest very fast. Okay,
so this answer you just gave rise to this question, and this one is important. The role of a good lawyer, especially in the building a creative's long-term brand.
Okay, so I'm going to use myself. I'm going to say what I do.
Which other person you the one using for? Is it not yourself that you will use?
So, a lawyer in the entertainment space, especially in the music industry, you're way more than just a lawyer. Okay. Because you become an educator, you become an A&R. Most of my artists, before they release songs, like I say, send me the song. I want to listen to it. And the reason that you do that, because I stand more on the protective side. Yeah. So we try not to let you get into issues. So what I'm A&R-ing, quote and unquote, is to listen for interpolations, samples, and all of those things. So a good lawyer in the entertainment space has to be invested. It's not just waiting to write letters. It's not just waiting to draft agreement. It's you being you have to be a part of it. So even for performances, I don't just book artists or write agreements. It's way more for me. I'm on ground.
That's why it's good for specialization. Somebody who specializes in that industry.
Because you represent structure in your team or on your team. And when you appear there, there's a certain level of respect that is accorded to your artist. Yeah. So a good lawyer in the entertainment space has to be really invested. You're ready to be a therapist. Oh, you will be a therapist. Because you have to talk to them over and over again. Sometimes you know their personal issues. Yeah. And obviously there'll be boundaries. So one thing that I always say that I do or give to my artists or people I work with, intention and attention. I'm always attentive and I'm always intentional, because you need to understand their character, know where their art per time, and know how to and when to advise. So it's more than head knowledge for you to be a good lawyer in the entertainment space or in the music space. There has to be high level of emotional intelligence, apart from knowing what the law says. Okay. Do you understand? So I think I've been able to answer that.
Oh, wow. I like that. Most times people just think it's just, you want contract, they don't bring contract, come, let's sign. This is what you do. Don't do like this, don't do like this. now you're explaining the fact that you have to be part and parcel of the creation of that talent and then making it grow over time. And that is when the long-term relationship.
That's one thing I also wanted to say. Relationship manager. That's what you also become. Because you are the forefront, you are the structure. So you have to help them build, maintain, and grow relationships.
Okay. Now, from your point of view, how do you think a creative is supposed to handle disputes professionally?
I have a representative, so it's important.
So, but some people who have representatives, they go see tear cloth.
No, but it's not. So one thing there's something that I always say. As an artist, when there are negative narratives about you, go ahead and debunk it. You can go on social media and say, that's not my character. That is not me. Social media is how you communicate with your fans on a daily, on a weekly.
Don't just wait to be quiet.
Don't wait, because that's my own. I'm not a PR expert, but from what I have seen, I know that when there is a negative narrative, and that's one thing.
And because it can continue to grow in people's minds about you.
That's one thing. I've forgotten what they said about Burna Boy. There was a time that he performed in Lagos and they said, he left the stage angrily. Now, the notion was that Burna Boy was proud and rude and he just left midway. Burna Boy now had to respond, and he now told us that they paid him for 30 minutes. He had stayed on stage for over 1 hour. And that the guy jumped at him. And he was scared for his life because he has anxiety. So imagine if he had kept quiet, the narrative about him would be, Burna Boy is rude, you call him for an event and he does not perform, he will leave. So he gave you extra. Exactly. And then, if he didn't speak, both of us would not be having this conversation right now. So there's always a place for coming out. But make sure you're doing it professionally. With professional advice. Have your PRO and legal. Legal is there to check that you're not saying anything that will put you in trouble. PR is there to check that your public appearance is still intact. So that's why structures are very important. But when there's a negative narrative about you, and it's a lie, I'm not saying if it's true, it's a lie. You know that what they're saying is a lie.
Don't wait.
Have your conversation with your PR and your legal and put out the statement. Your fans need to know you, know your character.
And the earlier the better before it starts.
Don't let other people speak the narrative or tell the narrative about you. The other one is when you're having issues with your label. A lot of them, without proper guidance, without proper conversations with their representatives, they come out online to say certain things. And that's one that I think is unwise. Because you're dealing with investors. You're dealing with people that put money down
for you.
So I don't think social media is the best place to settle those kinds of disputes. Go for your proper mediation or arbitration and settle what you need to settle. When you're out of the contract, you can put out a public statement that you're no longer with this label without letting us know the drama that went on. You don't need to publicize it, except there was domestic abuse, except they did some things to you that are way beyond the contract or what is on paper. Because it gives us an impression that you're in no-go area for an investment because you would come out for even petty reasons just to tarnish our image. Now, there's something. The artist has the fan base. They have the people, and who has the people has power.
That's true.
Do you understand?
So, and the moment you start to weave,
nobody cares about the label. So now, if you come out like that,
and there's always that narrative of so labels they always do. They enslave people.
If you look at it sometimes critically, most of those contracts are actually fair. And I tell people what is fair is what is negotiated. So if the label are giving you an agreement and you went and you reviewed it, or you did not review it and you signed, it is fair.
If it wasn't fair,
it is fair because you put your pen to paper. So it is
fair. They didn't force you. It wasn't under duress.
Do you understand what I mean? So that is the one that I think is unwise when you come out to drag your label, especially for reasons that are very your intention. We know when the intention is to tarnish the image of the label. We also know when the intention is, I've been choked, I have to say something. There's a difference between all of them. But most importantly, have your PRO, have your legal. Don't just open your mouth
and talk.
Okay,
that's good. All right, so based on this talk where you talk, let's look at this aspect of legal literacy, because most times people don't know that they need a lawyer. Some of them think they don't, a lot of them. And they don't teach them these things, especially when you go to creative schools, you're learning one thing or the other. What would you say they need to start doing? You get me? Should it be like the core point when you start discovering this creativity you have, or when you're done nurturing that creative side of you, where exactly do you start being schooled in the legal way creatively?
As soon as possible. As soon as possible. Like if you're, for instance, now, let me quote Bible, I'm a Christian. Let me say, you will not go and build a house without first counting your costs.
That's true.
So whether you want to, once you know that I want to start exploiting my creativity, I want to start making money from my creativity, you need to already have a lawyer by your side. And it might not just be the big lawyers, it can just be your friend that is a lawyer. Somebody that's actually interested in the legal part of things. You get my point?
Yeah.
So as soon as possible is the answer that I can give.
All right, that's good. We don't talk. Oh. We actually don't talk. All right, so before I let you go, because I know you're very busy with work and all of that, what's one piece of legal advice every creative listening right now should remember?
Have a lawyer. Very important.
It's a must.
I sat on a legal agreement a few days ago, and I know what my presence in that meeting did. First things first, respect for the artist.
Yeah.
The label obviously from the beginning said this one will give us problem. Now, problem is not bad problem. This one would check us, because what I was checking is effectiveness and efficiency of the label to the artist.
Yeah.
You just won't come and sign an artist for long term or even for a short term. 3 years is a long time. If you sign an artist at 20, in 3 years you'll be 23. If you sign him at 23, in 3 years you'll be 26.
Yeah.
So time is of essence. So a legal person there is sitting there not just to look at the paperwork, also to ensure efficiency and effectiveness on the label as well. Okay. So every artist should have a lawyer. And when I mean a lawyer, someone that has
whether artists or creatives in general.
All creatives in general should have a lawyer, because you need someone to always protect, and someone that knows and understands and knows when to tell you, oh yeah, deep, oh yeah, don't do it, or do it like this, or don't do it like that. So that's what I was saying.
Okay.
ChatGPT cannot properly review your agreement. I don't know what to because
why did you have to throw that ball?
No, because that's what happens now. They do it a lot too.
Okay.
So ChatGPT does not have human intelligence.
Yes.
ChatGPT does not know when to say, okay, you know what, let's do it like this. This is the end goal. So let us bend this way.
Because there's no emotion there.
Do you get?
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. So on the aspect, can you give me the difference between intellectual property, patency, and then to other trademarking and all of that?
Okay. So intellectual property is the household name that covers copyright, covers trademark, covers patents, covers industrial designs for Nigeria, and sometimes trade secrets. Now, copyright covers literal works. That's written work like poetry, books, cinematographic works, musical works, sound recording. Those ones are copyright. Now, trademark, things that identify your business, like your logo, your name, your slogan, something that when people hear or see,
they know that
think
it's
of you. Like Coca-Cola, when you see red Coca-Cola in Italy, you know that this is Coca-Cola brand. When you see
yellow
red bottom, you know. When you see yellow, you know it's MTN. So something that identifies your work.
Trademark.
Then patents is for technological works, but new. You create something.
You're the one who created
it. Yes. You created something new. That's it. Industrial designs are for works that are duplicated, mass production, ceramic plates, those kinds of things. Those ones fall under industrial design. So that's all 4 of them. And sometimes trade secrets. All of them under intellectual property.
Wow. All right. Thank you very much. I've stressed you today. Where was what?
Is that all?
It is. You want more? Really? What are you feeling like that?
When it comes to conversations like this, I'm always very gingered. Like, I love to teach. I love to educate.
It is. And for a lot of people out there who still don't understand this and would like to have a conversation with you, because this is not something that we can do just in one show. People would love to have a conversation and learn from you, which they will pay you. I'll be the link by God's grace. But how can they get through to you?
Okay, so my personal page on Instagram is Lucklyn of the Globe. My former page was banned. So when you see 200 and something followers, don't fret with me. Then my company's page, Greshel Consulting. Yeah, and I just launched a talent booking agency.
Wow, that's good.
So yeah, you can reach me via these 3 platforms, and I think my office phone number or phone number is on
there that they can actually reach. Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Lucklyn, for having time for us, for creating time for us. but you need to protect yourself, protect your intellectual property, and make sure that you sign the right deal. And so let's do it again. All right, so thank you guys so much. Follow us on all social media platforms, Grind and Glory Pod. Follow me at Radio Principality. A big shout out to our production team, the Ebom Entertainment team. Big shout out to our executive producer, Onome Atigogo. And to all of you out there, thank you so much. As we will always tell you, to get the glory, keep grinding.
Come on. Thank you.